The fourth way you can find your purpose in life is to ask yourself, whose pain do you feel? For what group do you have empathy for that you're willing to take action to help them? Maybe you have a heart for the homeless. Maybe you have a soft spot for single mothers. Maybe you can't sleep at night thinking of poor children in some geographic area. What if that season you're going through now is turning you into the person you need to become in order to get to the destination that you've been trying to reach?
What does it mean to find your purpose? Michael Leadon doesn't just ask the question. He's been a guide in that search for years. For the past 5 years, he has taught classes on mental, emotional, and spiritual health, giving people the tools to build a more meaningful life.
I met Michael 8 years ago, and when I met him, he was doing some missionary work in Africa. And he started out his story that was absolutely amazing. Now, how many of you can tell a story that somebody remembers? That's what Michael can do, and I was absolutely captivated.
I was born at the birthplace of the Bloods and the Crips. I was born where sagging pants started. I was born where the origin of gangster rap happened. I was born in South Central Los Angeles. They told us that the 3 ways to get out of South Central Los Angeles. You could sell drugs, you could become a famous athlete, or you could rap. You know, this morning I woke up, my arm was a bit sore, my back was sore, and I was thinking, man, getting old, man. But the interesting thing is 2 months ago, I woke up and my arm was sore. And the day before was arm day in the gym. So I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna have some muscle. It was the same exact pain, but I perceived it differently because it had a meaning to it. And that's how it is in life. If there is a meaning, it helps us through the suffering. What if I told you, hey, this is a great movie I heard about. It's really good. You know, there's this happy, successful family. The kids are on the honor roll. But then all of a sudden, they were happy and successful and the kids were doing great until one day, finally, they were happy and successful and the kids were doing great. Would anybody want to see that movie? That's a horrible movie. But they were happy the whole time. But it was a happy ending, but the happy ending is only meaningful because something happened in the middle. You know, we want like an asteroid to strike in the middle or kidnap one of those kids or somebody cheated on somebody, you know, then the happy ending is meaningful. So the happy ending is only meaningful because something happened to compare it to. It's not just the high intensity parts of the movie that you want to see. And you don't want to just have a happy ending. You want a whole path. You want to go through the whole path of emotions. Your purpose is the place where your heart's deep desire meets the world's great need. Perhaps you're going through struggles right now. Finances, relationships, health. But what if that season you're going through now is turning you into the person you need to become in order to get to the destination that you've been trying to reach? Even if you don't start out in the lead, you can come from behind and win. You can start where you are and win. Some of you didn't start out in the lead in life. Maybe you weren't born in the best neighborhood. Maybe you weren't the favorite in your family. Maybe you weren't voted most likely to succeed, but you can still win. Maybe you have a glass ceiling over you, but you can still win. I'm here to tell you, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but you can still win.